next point. We should ensure whatever we say is clear.
That means work is being done. We can see that it is in opposite direction.
Hello, listeners and viewers at home. It's good being with you again today on another edition of the e-learning organized by the Ministry of Education, Kaduna State. Welcome to our regular English class, and today I will take you through a topic which I have labeled paragraph development. In our last class, we talked about the general rules that guide essay writing, and in that, we talked about the format and so many other things. Now, in that lesson, we talked about moving from one paragraph to the other. But the question is, what is a paragraph and how do we develop a paragraph? So we have an outline that we'll follow today. Number one, we're going to define a paragraph. Number two, we will talk about the characteristics of paragraphs. 3, importance of paragraphs. 4, the purpose of paragraphing in essay writing. Number 5, number of sentences contained in a paragraph. 6, how to shift from the introduction to the body of paragraphs. Number 7, how to write the conclusion. Number 8, key points to remember about the conclusion of an essay. So let's go. Definition of a paragraph. We have it that a paragraph is a collection of sentences which relate to one idea. Collection of sentences that relate to one idea. It is a distinct piece of writing, usually dealing with a single theme, indicated by a new line, an indentation, or numbering. It is so called because it develops one idea through a series of related sentences, and we have only one idea in a paragraph. How do you know a paragraph? You know a paragraph when you begin a new line or when you indent. To indent means to move, to create a space from the beginning, from the edge of your exercise book. You move a bit to the right, you indent. And by the time you do that, it is a signal that you are beginning a paragraph. So that is how you do it, and in a paragraph, you have only one idea that you discuss in a paragraph. So what are the characteristics of a paragraph? Number 1, a paragraph must have a topic sentence, it must have unity, it must have coherence, and it must be adequately developed. What is a topic sentence? A topic sentence, in other words, is always called a focus sentence, because that is the main catch of your paragraph. A topic sentence could appear at the beginning, at the middle, or at the end of your paragraph. It depends on who is writing. It depends on the style that you choose to take. Some writers put their topic sentence on the very beginning, but some would choose to develop their topic sentence at the middle of the paragraph, and some could move it to the end. But it is advised that you begin with the topic sentence so that at a glance, you are already catching the attention of your reader or your listener by stating your topic sentence from the very beginning. It tells the main idea of the paragraph. No wonder it is called the topic sentence, and it is always on paragraph 1. The main idea of whatever story you're going to write is always at the introduction, which is our paragraph 1. Then a paragraph organizes every other paragraph that follows. Once you begin with a paragraph, it is an organization. It moves you systematically from one point to the other, and it goes on like that. 2, unity. Unity means that all other sentences or details in a paragraph revolve around the topic sentence. Remember in our previous class when we were talking about essay writing, we made an illustration with a family when we were talking about paragraphs, topic sentence. We said a family where we have the father, we have the mother, and the children. Now, and I mentioned that the mother, the children are the flesh that go around the father. That is the main introduction of our essay. So that is where this has gotten us to. We have unity here. We have the father, and the mother and the children will keep going around the father because they need to support him. When they do everything in agreement, it shows that they are standing together. That is unity. And that is what is expected of you when you are writing your essay. You develop your topic sentence, then every other information goes round the main idea and your message stands. Coherence. Coherence is a logical bridge between the words, the sentences, and the paragraph. Always bear in mind the word, the sentence, and the paragraph. You need to knit the ideas together. We have the father. There is always a link between the father and the mother, and it moves to the first child, it moves to the second child, and it keeps going like that. Whenever you remember there is a relationship, what is that relationship? What is the bond? You remember biologically you are brought together by the same blood. That is the coherence. And it keeps connecting from the word, it moves to the sentence, and it moves to a paragraph. It's development. So that's how it goes. And at the end, when you coherently write what you have, you use devices to connect the ideas. What are the devices? Remember, we've been talking about collocations. We've been talking about transition words indirectly in some of these things. So these are the devices that you need. We talked about figures of speech. You remember our metaphor, our hyperbole, our onomatopoeia, and so many things like that. Use these devices to connect the ideas together so that you make your writing interesting, and everybody listening to you, everybody reading your piece of work will be attracted and would want to learn more from it. Adequate development. A paragraph is adequately developed when it describes, when it explains, and supports the topic sentence. When you want to show that you have developed your paragraph well, you should be able to describe. How do you describe? You give a clear picture. You give a mental picture. Someone is not there when something happened, for instance, but you use sensory details. Talking about sensory details, we are talking about the sense of smell, sense of touch, sense of sight, sense of feel, and the sense of hearing. You use all these details to give the person the impression that the person was there when that thing happened. For instance, you are describing a dish, let's say fried rice. I was not there when you ate fried rice, but because you want to carry me along, you use every beautiful word that will make me salivate, will make me see you eat fried rice, and if possible, I could see myself enjoying fried rice with you. Meanwhile, I was not there. So that is what it means when you describe. And the same applies to the other ones. So, importance of paragraphs. What are the importance of paragraphs? Number one, a paragraph provides a framework for organizing your ideas in a logical and sequential order. Logical order. This has got to do with principles and step-by-step kind of system. You move in principles. You just don't begin from the bottom to the top, or from the top to the bottom. There should be a link. Okay, this is the genesis of it. So we begin from here and we move on gradually into it. So it provides a framework for organizing your ideas in a logical and sequential order. It also helps the reader to understand and enjoy your essay. When you move step by step, you're carrying your readers along. Everybody is following you. Okay, step one, this is what he is saying. Step two, this is what the writer is saying. So you keep moving on like that. Paragraphs equally give the writer as well as the reader a focus. When you move step by step, you are given a focus, you are given a direction. Everybody is moving towards the same goal. You are not leaving anybody behind, so you carry everyone working towards the same goal. what are the purposes of paragraphing? Why do we paragraph? Number one, we paragraph because we need to signal a shift in thought. Remember we said writing an essay come in 5 different paragraphs. And you need to move from paragraph 1, paragraph 2, 3, 4 to the end. So one of the purposes of a paragraph is to signal a shift. Okay, I've been thinking about how to buy rice, but if I want to make a paragraph, I will move. Okay, I have bought rice. What next do I need to buy? That's when you will remember you need to buy groundnut oil. For you to discuss groundnut oil, you move from point A and go to point B. So the paragraph helps to signal a shift in your thought. Next, it gives the reader a pause. You are done with paragraph 1. The words that you will use will indicate the end. The next word that you will use will tell the reader, okay, I am done with this, I will move to the next one. So the reader will have a break in between paragraph 1 and paragraph 2. It's not a break that could make you see a very wide timing, it's a pause. So there will just be a pause, something that you may not even notice, but the person reading it, the person listening will understand and feel it that there's a pause, which indicates there's a need for us to move from one point to the other. Next, to make visible to the reader the stages in the writer's thought. Now, the reader is not in your mind. The reader is not in your brain. So it is your responsibility as a writer to make visible. How do you make visible? You make someone see what you are thinking about, what you are thinking of, what is in your mind, what do you intend to do. You create the picture. Remember I mentioned it when I was talking about description. You create a mental picture. Make your listeners, make your readers see what you're trying to say. Then, to arouse the interest of the reader, to identify the topic sentence of your writing. How do you arouse the interest? When you move, you get captivating words. Remember, we mentioned our figures of speech. You try to give expressions that will carry the person. It's not, you don't put a rope to pull the person, but automatically the person moves along with you. Why is it like that? Because you have used the right words. For instance, when you're describing the smell of perfume, you just don't say the perfume is smelling in the room. For you to capture the attention of someone, you could say the sweet fragrance, the sweet fragrance. By the time you use the sweet fragrance, you see the person will want to pay attention. Okay, sweet and fragrance. Is it something we eat? No, it's not something we eat. But then it's fragrance. The nose is working, sensory details. So you use words that will capture and arouse the interest of your readers. Then to engage the reader through a tried and true ways. How do you do that? You make it worthwhile. Yes, this thing is worthwhile. You need to read it because there's something for you to learn from it. So you make the person come with you through tried and true ways. How many sentences are in a paragraph? How many sentences are in a paragraph? A paragraph can be any of the following. 1. A paragraph can be half long a page. It depends on who is writing. A paragraph can also be at least 5 sentences. A paragraph can be 1 sentence, and a paragraph can equally be a word. It depends on who is writing and what you are writing for. But for those of us that are writing for exam purpose, we cannot limit ourselves to just 1 word or 1 sentence. It means we need to bring many sentences together for us to develop a paragraph. But in reality, the unity and coherence of ideas in sentences is what makes up your paragraph. So it doesn't matter whether you have 5 sentences or 10 sentences or you have up to half a page, like we have said earlier. The unity and coherence of what you are writing is what makes a paragraph. So as you do your revision, as you keep learning, remember, your words will have to be united, your words or sentences will have to be coherent, and your essays will have to be adequately developed if you need to capture your reader. How do you start a paragraph? You begin a paragraph from the introduction. That is our paragraph 1. So let's name our introduction the daddy of the house. That's the father. Mention your topic sentence and explain what you want to say about it. As the father, what is the main thing that you want achieved in the family? That is what you mention as your topic sentence. The main thing, the most important thing at that moment, that is our topic sentence. 2, in order of importance, list 3 other points that will support the topic sentence. Okay? The main thing, the most important thing is the topic sentence and 3 other supporting things that we need to do in order of importance. What are the 3 things that we need to do? Those are the ones that will revolve around the topic sentence in order to make your work rich. Then, give a concluding statement for this paragraph. As you give other relating information, you need to conclude it. What is the last thing? Remember we said you give in order of importance. Number 1, this is what I need to do. Number 2, this is it. And 3, 4, then finally, I will have to retire and sleep. How do we shift from the introduction to the body of the paragraphs? That's the body development. Remember, we earlier said that the body of the essay comes in 3 paragraphs. Paragraph 2, paragraph 3, and paragraph 4. The reason for a new paragraph is to express your thoughts on a particular point in a clear way that is unique and specific to that paragraph. So because of that, do not mix different ideas in one paragraph. What it simply means is that each paragraph contains only one idea. If you have 5 ideas for your essay, paragraph 1 will have to contain your topic sentence, that's one idea. Then the supporting ideas, you spread them across the remaining paragraphs through paragraph 2, 3, and 4. Then begin a new point for each of the paragraphs. That's what I've just explained. Each paragraph, a new point. Then contrast information or ideas you mention. The ideas you mention in paragraph 2 should be different from what you will talk about in paragraph 3, although there is always a link. If in paragraph 1 you talked about the father, paragraph 2 the mother comes in, paragraph 3 the first child of the family comes in, and that is how we move on to the last child of the family. Then give supporting information in every paragraph. Supporting information. How to write a conclusion to an essay. That's our paragraph 5. 1. Restate your statement as you did in paragraph 1. Remember in paragraph 1, you gave a topic sentence, and now we have moved through paragraph 2, 3, and 4, and we are on paragraph 5. That's our conclusion. So you pick your topic sentence from paragraph 1, remove another topic sentence from paragraph 2, 3, and 4, and you bring them back to paragraph 5. Get the first ideas from paragraph 2, 3, and 4. I just said that. Then sum up the 4 main ideas to conclude your thoughts. The goal of the conclusion is to emphasize the topic sentence, summarize the body of the essay, and leave readers with a final impression. Don't bring up new ideas in the conclusion. Whatever you say there are things that you would have been able to say in paragraph 1, 2, 3, and 4. Key points to remember about a conclusion. 1. A good essay conclusion restates your statement from the introduction. 2. It concludes thoughts and not present new ideas. Remember, no new ideas in paragraph 5. Then it drives your points, the points of your essay home one last time. Now, we have here an example of a bad paragraph. When we say a bad paragraph. So let's go through it. We have the heading of this paragraph there, I hate wet and rainy days. It rained a lot in 1816. A lot, like every day. The weather in Europe was abnormally wet because it rained in Switzerland on 130 out of 183 days. From April to September, it was Mary Shelley. I might decide to write a book too. After all, it was the only thing you could do without TV or anything she said that she passed the summer of 1816 in the environs of Geneva. We occasionally amused ourselves with some German stories of ghosts. These tales excited in us a playful desire of irritation. Some people were stuck inside and bored. Mary Shelley decided to write a book because it was so awful outside. I can totally see her point, you know. I guess I would write a novel if there was nothing else to do. Now, let's move on to see what makes this paragraph bad. Number 1, the opening sentence is not on point and it has a spelling error. For those of us that were reading along, you could see spelling mistakes there. Number 2, the second sentence states a fact, but no cited source is provided. Number 3, the rest of the paragraph begins to discuss the topic, but not clear enough to allow audience to see where you are heading. Number 4, the quote used does little to support the opening sentence, and we had grammar errors running through the sentences. So let's move on to see a good paragraph. We have the weather in 1816 Europe was abnormally wet, keeping many inhabitants indoors that summer. From April to September of that year, it rained in Switzerland on 130 out of 180 days from April to September. Quote Phillips 2006. Unlike today, we could not simply turn on a television or click through the internet in order to entertain oneself. Instead, it was much more common for the educated people in the day to spend time reading, discussing well-known authors and artists of the day, playing out cards, and walking in their gardens and walking paths. Now, what makes this paragraph good? Number 1, the introductory sentence immediately tells the audience the topic. Even though the topic is not written, but the introduction, that first sentence tells you the topic already. Number 2, the opening paragraph supports the opening sentence. Number 3, the supporting sentences revolve around the main idea. And number 4, there are no spelling errors and the writer is clear and concise. Now, for a quick recapitulation on what we have just done, we defined a paragraph, and we moved on to discuss the characteristics of paragraphs. We talked of the importance of paragraphs, then purpose of paragraphing, numbers of sentences contained in a paragraph. We moved on to discuss how to shift from the introduction to the body of paragraphs, then how to write the conclusion of your essay. We also talked about key points to remember about the conclusion of an essay. Remember, this is in connection to our previous lesson on essay writing. Now, for us to draw the curtains again today, I'll leave you with an assignment, which you will take your time to do and get back to us as necessary as it becomes. Now, the assignment is, bearing in mind the lockdown as a result of the COVID-19 pandemic, in 2 paragraphs, explain how you spend your day from dawn to dusk. Bearing in mind the lockdown as a result of the COVID-19 pandemic, in 2 paragraphs, Explain how you spend your day from dawn to dusk. Dawn to dusk means from morning till evening. So explain how you spend your day. You have 12 hours in between and so many activities go on. So explain to us. Remember to use your figures of speech, your collocations, your transition words, use capital letters and other punctuations where necessary. And when you're done, you contact me on 080-250-25339. My name is Mercy Baintakude. Once again, the number is 080-250-25339. Remember to observe the safety guidelines as stated by the NCDC because of COVID-19, even as you go to write your exams. And those of you that are home, remember, stay home, stay safe, keep learning until I come your way again. Goodbye.